Live from the Caterpillar Global Communications Center at Bradley University, this is BUTV News.
Good evening and welcome to BUTV News. I'm Megan Ruger-Smith.
And I'm Dylan Baus. Let's take a look at the news.
Greek organizations have been an integral
Bradley
part
University
of
has
campus
begun
life here at Bradley, but not all get the same recognition. Our reporter set out to learn more about how Bradley plans on representing both the National Pan-Hellenic Council and the multicultural Greek organization.
Bradley University has begun its implementation of plots representing both the National Pan-Hellenic Council and the multicultural Greek organizations on campus. Director of Student Affairs, Nathan Thomas, acknowledges the historical importance of these organizations and why they should be represented.
That our organizations have a long history of meaningful impact both on campus but in the Peoria community and really nationwide. And these are excellent recognitions and displays of the historical significance and the impact that those organizations play.
The plots are structures that display the history of the organizations. The president of NPHC, Lene Williams, knows covering these organizations' history is important in showing prospective students the diversity that Bradley has to offer.
For prospective Bradley students, more importantly, is that you have a community on this campus. You won't just go down Fredonia and miss all the culture of the Black and brown Greeks and stuff like that that you would not have seen if we didn't, make the changes that we have made currently.
NPHC and MGO are looking forward to the completion of the plots and the impact they will have on continued diversity and inclusion on campus.
So I feel like everything's looking upward at this point, and it's only up from here. We just got to encourage other students who are not just Black and brown and stuff like that to join in on the fight with us to make sure that they are caring just about much as their peers being having equity as they do.
The plots are set to be finished by spring 2022, and they can be found on the Alumni Quad behind the Renaissance Coliseum. Reporting from BUTV News, I'm Joe Spatansky.
As campus life slowly returns to normal and hopes are high for next semester to look like the spring of 2018 in terms of restrictions, organizations are hoping for a return of enrollment and engagement. Mitch went to talk to members of Epsilon Sigma Alpha to hear how the pandemic has affected them over the past few months.
Students aren't the only ones who have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Organizations here on Bradley University campus have also been affected, and they've shown a decrease in engagement in overall population. Epsilon Sigma Alpha is a service sorority organization here on campus who has also seen these effects. They plan on making it right by making some changes this year.
The current vice president of ESA, Becky Rose, expressed how difficult it was to get other students at Bradley University to participate in ESA's events for St. Jude Children's Hospital.
I had to plan all of the fundraising events throughout the year run by ESA. We did an event called Venmo for a Cure, and it didn't really work as well as I hoped because everything was virtual.
Formerly the Internal Sisterhood Chair for ESA, Talia Elliott discussed the personal emotional struggles she faced that were attached to having everything virtual during the COVID semesters.
It was definitely difficult. I think every aspect of COVID was difficult for everybody, but just from a personal perspective, I missed seeing people face to face. I missed that connection that you get from not being on Zoom.
She also expressed how much ESA has grown this year and how events have already gone back to normal.
Our events are going really well. We just had our fall date party, which we got to have in person. We took the bus over, and it was really neat to see all the girls that had joined during COVID and this semester all getting to interact, and I think we're having a really good time.
For BUTV News, I'm Mitch Thiel.
Taking a look back, Bradley celebrated LGBTQ History Month during the month of October. Danny Whiteside went out to talk to students about how their thoughts on Bradley has represented the community both during the historic month and beyond.
October is LGBTQ History Month, and for the first time, the Circle of Pride is honoring that. It featured the rainbow flag, the trans flag, and the Progress Pride flag for a few weeks in the month of October. Ceci Artiga is part of Brave Space, the on-campus internship that made this happen.
I think it's very historic. It's never happened before. There's never been pride flags in the Circle of Pride on campus, so this being the first year is very monumental.
In addition to a flag-raising ceremony, there were other ways the LGBTQ community was represented on campus. These events were coordinated by the Common Ground Club, and there is more planned for the future.
There's been a lot of events on campus. There's been Pride Prom. There's been the Legacy Wall. In the spring, there's going to be a gala, which is a gay gala, and it's oriented for alumni and graduating seniors.
Although there is an effort being made, some students, like Maggie Goff, feel that more can be done.
I feel like there's a big number of LGBT students on campus, and they're all very welcoming. Also, it just kind of feels like the university hasn't really acknowledged acceptance or really promoting and letting LGBT people know that Bradley is a safe space for them.
Students interested in expanding representation on campus can join the Common Ground Club or the Brave Space Internship. For BUTV News, I'm Danny Whiteside.
More organizations have been able to be reinstated now that Bradley has less restrictions on them as opposed to the fall semester of 2020. Our campus reporter went out to speak with an organization that is now back in full swing after months of inactivity.
With a new name and an expansive crew, Bradley Film Studios has already begun production on its first project, turning a dorm room inside Wendell Hall into a film set.
It's called Arcata, and it's basically about these three guys, Dante, Spirit, Chad, all going to the arcade because Spirit has some friends at the arcade that are girls.
Marlon Lee is a senior television arts major who has recently rebranded Bradley Film Studios. Lee is the writer and director for this semester's short film after the pandemic put the club on a hiatus.
I decided to do it because when I got back onto campus, I was just like, yo, there's no club anymore, it turns out. So I was like, hey, David, can we restart it? Because I want to make a film before I get out of here. So we literally just ragtagged it together, and now it's back in business.
Bradley Film Studios has been an opportunity for a sense of community and a way for students with similar interests to work together on a passion project.
My favorite part so far has just been building the community around it. It's nice to see people happy about doing something that they want to do after COVID.
Lee has found this experience so far rewarding. He is proud of the crew's efforts and dedication to the short film.
Seeing the shots almost exactly as how you envisioned them in your head when you're watching them back, I'm really excited to see what they're going to look like when it's all edited up and stuff. It's just going to be really rewarding to see all of that done.
Bradley Film Studios plans to show the film to the Bradley community next semester as a tribute to the club's hard work. For BUTV News, I'm Mallory Clark.
While some organizations had an easy switch to online meetings, some have found the technology that allows them to thrive in person held them back online. Anthony, our campus reporter, reached out to the organization and found that Bradley's esports club is grateful to have in-person meetings once again.
In the basement of the Michael Student Center, the Bradley Esports Smash Club comes to meet every Friday. The Esports Club is a way for students who enjoy playing video games to get together to compete and interact with other like-minded students.
The community here is awesome. They're always inviting for people. They keep asking people to keep coming back, and I think it's fun.
After the COVID-19 pandemic hit, the club, just like others around the world, had its setback that allowed it to return stronger than before. Frank Palini, president of the Super Smash Bros. Division of Bradley Esports, believes the desire to play Nintendo games in person rather than online revitalized the club after the university's return to campus after the pandemic.
Most Nintendo games do not have that good of an online system, so online was more unpleasant than most other games. So when we got back to offline, there was an influx of people coming from everywhere to this club.
While being back on campus may cause excitement for those involved in the club, the safety of its members and others at Bradley is very important for the Esports Club Executive Board.
I think that we're doing pretty well. Most of the time we have to have COVID checks to make sure that we all are vaccinated. We're all wearing masks during the tournaments and all that time.
Many view video games as a great way to interact with people and make new friends. Meeting people in person through Bradley's Smash Club can be a great way to revitalize Bradley's once flourishing community and engage in friendly competition.
It's great to meet people online in video games, talk to them, have fun, but what's really special is when You say, hey, do you want to grab some lunch after these games? Hey, I heard you took my class a couple semesters ago. Can you help me out with this? Because that brings us closer and makes games more enjoyable.
If you have more questions, or if you'd like to join Bradley Esports, you can go to the Office of Public Relations tab on bradley.edu. There you can find a link to the Esports Discord channel and join from there. For BUTV News, I'm Anthony Palazzolo.
Coming up next on our last show of the semester, an interview with a very important member of the Bradley community that you won't want to miss.
And later tonight, we have Sports with Olivia live at the Peoria Civic Center, where the men's basketball team will face off against Northern Iowa. See you then.
I am what hunger looks like in America.
I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch. Till September.
I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs. And that's still not enough to put food on the table. I am a 16-year-old boy who just got my first job to help feed my little sisters. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Welcome back. I'm Kaylee Chatton. Now, normally you would be seeing me report from somewhere else on campus, but tonight I am here with a very special guest, with Bradley's president, Stephen Standiford. We want to welcome you back in the studio. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Great, thrilled to be here.
Awesome. Now I'm just going to ask a couple questions.
Sure.
So, what are some of the responsibilities that you have as president of Bradley University?
Interesting question. So, really kind of overall scope of the university, but really what I spent a lot of time thinking about is the overall strategic direction of the university. I actually had a student ask me once, what do I do? It's a piercing question, right? And the way I often describe it is I support the people that support you. So my job is to really make sure that the organization has the resources it needs to be successful, has the appropriate strategic direction to make sure we're moving in a positive direction, and then to support the vice presidents, kind of what we call the senior leadership team, to make sure they have what they need to be able to effectively serve our students in their roles as students here at Bradley University.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, what brought you to Bradley?
So I get this question periodically, and one of the things that there's a whole line of conversation I could go down here that I'll try to resist, but I'm a first-generation college student. I'm passionate about building institutions that build human potential, but based on my own experiences and the things that I've been able to do as a result of my education. And when I think of institutions that are well positioned to really help people become the fullest version of themselves, I can't think of any place better that does that than Bradley University, and that's really what brought me here.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And now, what was it like to come to Bradley and start your presidency during a pandemic?
It was different. It wasn't at all how we planned it, obviously, but it's interesting. I've had a number of people ask me along the way a similar question around if I knew what I know now, would I have still done it? And the answer is absolutely. I accepted and was comfortable with the responsibility of really helping the organization navigate through that crisis. But the other thing I'll mention is I'm a strong advocate that if you really want to understand organizations and understand people, watch them operate in a crisis. And I've had an opportunity to see us operate under the most challenging of situations and watched us do so with grace and continue to move forward in positive ways. So it's obviously been very challenging in many ways, but it's also been very encouraging in many ways, and it makes me very optimistic about the future.
I'm sure. So having to make some difficult decisions due to the pandemic, how was that for you? How did you decide on the choices that you made?
Oh, it's a great question. First of all, it was unique. One of my friends, an individual named Mary Marcy, she was the president of Dominican University in California for 12 years. And I asked her, I said, Mary, tell me this is not normal, right? She said, no, it's nothing like what I've ever experienced. And the way she described it is, it was a year where we had to make a lot of decisions that she described them as 49% decisions. It was so difficult to figure out what was the right decision. There's two guiding principles that really helped us navigate through this. And the first one is we followed the science to the extent that we could. The science was evolving, so we continued to adjust based on following the science. But when questions came up, we would often go back to follow the science. And then one of the things, our Vice President of Student Affairs, Nathan Thomas, really led a lot of the charge on this, and I can't think of enough for that. And Nathan and I would often talk about what we will ultimately be judged on is, did we do an effective job of keeping people safe and healthy? And so that was also one of the, follow the science, focus on safety and health. And that really helped us figure out how to make some of those more difficult decisions.
Now, what are 5 things you would say that students should know about you, or some interesting facts?
Okay. So I'm not sure I'm that interesting, by the way, but I'll give out a few things. First of all, I am a first-generation college student, so I know we have a number of students that would fall into that category as well. And so when folks struggle or think through about how challenging, I get it, right? And know that the world is an opportunity set for you. That's one of the things that I think is, as a background. Folks may or may not know that I actually have an engineering and a business background. And so when you start thinking about the various things we do at the university, there are various areas that I get excited about. I was a singer at one point. I was in the Purdue Varsity Glee Club
Oh my goodness.
as an undergraduate, and that was a great experience. And I was also student body president my last year.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was both being in the Glee Club and being student body president really helped me understand the power of the co-curricular activities, that the education of a student goes way beyond just what happens in the classroom. Obviously that's critical, but it's the totality of the experience that really matters. And because of that, I'm constantly encouraging students, get involved, find something you're excited about, and there will be deep learnings associated with that.
100% agree, yes.
Yeah.
Now, what is your favorite thing that you would say about Bradley? I know it's a difficult question.
Yeah.
You could multiple favorite things, I'm sure.
It's interesting. I have a multitude that I do, and it depends on the audience I'm talking about. The one thing that I constantly finding myself saying to a lot of groups is, it's just an amazing place of highly dedicated people. And that goes back a little bit to that, what did you discover during the pandemic? And it was such a complicated situation. And watching my colleagues over and over and over again step forward themselves in the most complicated of situations. And their willingness to adapt and adjust and continue to move forward has been remarkable and inspiring. And it speaks volumes of the people here. So I share that with some regularity about my optimism about the place comes from watching my colleagues operate in the most difficult of situations and do so with grace.
Awesome. We got about a minute left here. What would you say are some of the future goals or plans for the university?
Yeah, so we went through a big strategic planning process. There's a number of things coming out of that. One of the things I'm most excited about is last week we announced the appointment of a new Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Dr. Warren Anderson he's coming to us from the Wisconsin system. One of the things I get really excited about is we are going to work very hard to make this one of the most inclusive campuses in the nation and to be a role model in doing so. And that's one of the biggest plans. And that comes directly from our strategic plan, which if we had more time, I'd tell you about in detail.
Well, thank you so much. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have today, but thank you so much again for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thrilled to be here. Thank you.
Now, coming up after the commercial break, Alec has your weather. Thank you so much and have a fantastic rest of your evening.
Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
Of course I've thought about it, but there's all this stuff in the way.
Oh, you're not kidding.
The house, the kids are going to college.
A new car.
Car? You bought a new car?
Oh, hey, you should meet my friend Avo. Avo's a retirement coach. He'll help get you started.
But what does Avo tell you to do?
You don't know? Focus on your future. Your goals can still be met.
But how?
Target your tomorrow. And use the Avo bet.
You sing?
Not really. A is for taking action. Start off with a plan.
You built these letters?
Yep. V is for variety. There's so many ways you can.
I follow you.
Come on. O's for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice sign.
Thanks, I made it myself.
Cool.
Hello, and welcome to our final broadcast for the semester. It's the month for chills and snow thrills, December. What's the weather going to look like this week? Temperatures have dropped into the low lows these past few days, down to the 30s, where you can even see your breath while walking back and forth to classes. Luckily, we haven't gotten any snow yet. Will it stay that way? Let's find out together, shall we? Let's check for any pesky storms. It's looking to be clear today. No storms in sight. What a way to end off our show, with nothing. Yay! All right, let's cut to those temps. It's looking to be around low 30s. When it comes to clothing, make like an onion and cover yourself in layers. Just don't smell like an onion though, that would be bad. And here is our 5-day forecast. It's looking to be partly cloudy for the first few days, then sunny, and we end off with rain. Thank you guys for sticking around and encouraging me to be a doofus every Wednesday. Now here's your entertainment news with Madeline Miralegro.
As BUTV comes to a close for this semester, I decided for this entertainment segment that I try to cover as much as possible, including a cheating scandal. But first, so many great shows and movies have premiered lately, so let's get into that. Hulu's original The Great, starring Elle Fanning and Nicholas Hoult, has finally premiered on the app on November 19th for their second season. This season is full of murders, hilarious jests, and of course, lots of breaking of glass with screams of huzzah following. Fanning and Hoult are both stunning as Catherine and Peter the Great and brought a fun rivalry full of romantic tension to the screen. I, for one, love the season already and cannot wait to see what other coups will unravel during the season's finale. Apparently, Spider-Man can sing. Andrew Garfield was amazing as the Broadway legend Jonathan Larson in the biopic musical Tick, Tick, Boom. He was able to match the mannerisms of Larson down to a T, and the songs were amazing. A personal favorite of mine and of many others is 3090. Every time both my mom and I listen to the song, one part of it always gets stuck in our heads. On TikTok, another personal favorite, titled Boho Days, is currently trending, where people post videos and pictures of their lives to the song. I gave into the temptation of the trend and posted a version of my own. HBO's original series Euphoria is back for the second season. The trailer has finally been released, and it was refreshing for the audience to watch the skilled cinematography and stunning colors and makeup. Zendaya, who plays Rue, was seen dancing around and singing, while flashes of the other characters and other scenes of the show were able to be seen on screen. I'm mostly looking forward to the makeup being seen in the show and trying and failing miserably at recreating the looks. Marvel has done it again with one of its original series on Disney+. This time, it is all about the sharpshooter Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye. He is joined by a younger sharpshooter by the name of Kate Bishop, who manages to get herself in a bunch of trouble at the very beginning of the first 2 episodes. When the two meet, it is an amazing father figure dynamic duo that Marvel is known for. Despite already loving Kate Bishop, I have to say my favorite character is the dog that she immediately saves and adopts. It wouldn't be an entertainment industry without a scandal or two, and it wouldn't be an eventful last show if I didn't add some drama. Like I said in the beginning, I was going to be talking about a cheating scandal. The Broadway stars Anthony Ramos and Jasmine Cephas Jones have been everyone's OTP since they first started dating during the opening of the Broadway musical Hamilton. The pair had plans to get married very soon, however, that might not be the case any longer. Allegedly, he was spotted at a club with another woman, and to others, it presented like they were in the relationship instead. The rumors only further escalated when both Jasmine and her father deleted photos of Anthony, and Jasmine was shown not wearing her ring in a post. As of right now, nothing is confirmed, but we will see in due time if they make it work or if she dumps him. So, Alec, are you excited for our last show?
Yes, it's going to be the best show we've ever had. Let's do it! Later on tonight, we have our latest edition of Campus Convos for the semester. This time, holiday themed.
Plus, after the break, Olivia Clausen has an exclusive interview with some Bradley students doing some big things. Don't click away.
You're looking at me in the future. Okay. Hi, Isaac.
Hi. Wait a second.
Do you know who I am?
Julia.
This is Jaina. Into the future. I just wanted to talk to you about what happened with those 2 girls.
Oh, yeah?
Do you remember it was this girl that I was getting bullied by that one day at PE when they were like yelling at me, and then you just linked arms with me? I don't think you know how much like that helped me, because like I finally like knew that I had somebody. Because of you, Isaac, and what you did for me years ago, I grew up to be more independent and love myself and just be a little bit more confident.
Aw, I'm like a little tearing up right now. Just to see her in the future just blossom and look beautiful, and that was really amazing.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. But I need that back. No. Kevin!
If you have been around the sports communications department, you might have seen a couple of those students wearing matching shirts while talking about the latest high school sporting events happening here in Central Illinois. Those students would most likely have been a part of Clutch Sports, a broadcast started by 2 current Bradley seniors.
Larry Larson and Joey Wright have since expanded their operations, and now multiple Bradley students are helping out in any way they can. To learn more on how these 2 started their organization, our sports anchor, Olivia Clausen, is in live from the Peoria Civic Center. Olivia.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at the Peoria Civic Center, joined here with Larry Larson, co-founder of Clutch Sports Media. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, of course.
So, Larry, for those of us who don't know much about Clutch Sports Media, could you give us a brief overview?
So, the brief rundown of Clutch Sports Media is a prep sports broadcasting website that provides free video streams of Central Illinois' biggest high school sporting events. So, usually football, basketball, both boys and girls, and all sorts of other stuff, baseball, softball, soccer. We've done a little bit of everything.
I see. So you're a sports communication major, is that correct?
Yes.
Just like me. What made you want to start doing this?
Well, it was my sophomore year. I founded the company with Joey Wright, another sports comm major. We're both seniors now. We both wanted to get into broadcasting, and we wanted to do a little bit more. Our freshman year, we did some broadcasting, usually through Braves Vision and Bradley Athletics. We figured we wanted to do a little bit more, so we pulled together some cash, bought some microphones and headsets, and went out and did the thing.
Wonderful, wow. How many people approximately are involved in this?
Well, it's grown a lot. It started with me and Joey, and now it's hard to count. I'd guess anywhere between, and it depends on any day really, probably 10 to 12. We just rotate through our main cast. Usually students here at Bradley, also some high schoolers are involved now. So it's a lot of fun.
Wow. What has been the biggest challenge, starting your own
business?
Business, essentially, yes.
There have been a lot of challenges. I would say COVID threw a big challenge at us. We were just picking up steam our first year. COVID hit. We were about to do a big basketball game. It got called off, and the rest of the state tournament got called off as well. So that really put a grinding halt to everything. So just kind of staying relevant through the pandemic when there were no high school sports was probably the biggest challenge.
And how did you stay relevant?
Well, we just did some Zoom interviews. We called up some prep sports writers from Chicago, did some Zoom interviews, posted them on YouTube, interviewed coaches, ADs, players, and just tweeted. Tried to stay relevant a few times a week on social media and use social media to our advantage. So.
Wow, of course. How do you go about what games you want to go to, how the scheduling, how do you attend, tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So, by now, we started this in 2019. We've kind of got a feel for which programs, which teams are generally good, which teams draw a lot of viewership, which teams a lot of people are interested in. So we'll generally lean towards the big matchups. So Washington-Metamora, for example, is a huge rivalry. We'll try to cover as many Washington-Metamora games as possible. Whenever those two teams play each other, it's going to be intense, it's going to be good. So for football, basketball, boys or girls, we try to do those games. Other games, just teams that are good, squaring off against each other. We try to kind of see ourselves as a national network, so to speak. So like Sunday Night Football, for example. Every week they pick the best game, or at least try to pick the best game. That's kind of what we need to do and try to do on any given day.
I see. Now you had a fan section competition?
Yeah. So social media, that's one way we stayed relevant throughout the pandemic, and of course we've kept with it. And now that COVID-19 is starting to decline, student sections are back. Me and Joey talked about it. We said, we got to play into these student sections, man. They do some crazy stuff every week. Started with football. We posted a graphic. Hey, send us your videos. Send us the crazy stuff you guys do in the student section. And it was kind of an overwhelming reaction, really. We got all kinds of different videos, and all these student sections started yelling at us at games and trying to get on camera. It was a lot of fun.
I'm glad to hear. What do you have to say to anyone who might be interested in potentially wanting to join your team?
Hit us up via email, clutchsportsil@gmail.com. You can find us on social media, clutchsportsil on Twitter, as well as @clutchsportsmedia on Instagram.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have. Don't go anywhere, because right after this short commercial break, I will be right here to tell you the latest on Bradley sports. Hope to see you soon.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
Baby, you see, you're so right for me, and I am right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, never gonna let you go. Baby, never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Olivia Clausen. Welcome to sports. The Braves are hosting Northern Iowa here at the Peoria Civic Center in tonight's Valley opener. Coming off of a hot streak of their most impressive game this season, a 32-point victory over Maine on Saturday, Bradley is currently averaging 69.1 points through 7 contests while allowing 67.3 in 68 meetings here between these two schools here tonight. Northern Iowa holds edge at 35-33. Bradley is looking to lessen that gap tonight. Bradley women's basketball game versus Tulsa, scheduled at the annual field trip game, which was supposed to take place at 11 a.m. today at the Renaissance Coliseum, was canceled due to multiple positive COVID-19 test results reported within the Golden Hurricanes personnel. Bradley is evaluating opportunities to make up this game. Only 1 of 2 remain of their non-conference home season games for the Braves this season. The Braves women's team are now scheduled to return to action Saturday night at North Dakota State. Preparing for her 14th season as Bradley softball head coach, Amy Hayes received 4 commitments during the fall signing period with infielders Ashley Breeding and Austin Comstock, outfielder Lauren DeRolf, and pitcher Kirsten McCoy to attend Bradley University. The Bradley women's softball teams are thrilled to welcome the new Braves to their teams come next spring. For just the second time in program history, Bradley Tennis is welcoming a Russian-born student athlete to the program, as Anna Bagliadovia joins the Braves beginning in the fall 22 semester. Brave Maria Mendoza will be joined as the only Russians on Bradley Tennis history. Bradley Tennis has the highest ratio of international student athletes to Americans of any Bradley athletic program and ties men's basketball with 6 international student athletes having eligibility in the fall. Bradley Volleyball will make the second postseason appearance in program history with Sunday night's announcement that the Braves will face Chicago State in the first round of the 2021 National Invitational Volleyball Championship. Tying for 3rd in the Missouri Valley Conference standings, Bradley, 16-14 overall, is one of the 4 Valley teams in the NIVC field, with the Braves playing at Chicago State tomorrow night in a 7:30 first-round contest. The winner of Thursday's matchup between Bradley and Chicago State will face either Sam Houston or Evansville Friday at 7 p.m. at Chicago State's Johns Convocational Center.
Wait to hear how the game goes. Who should we be keeping an eye out for at tonight's game?
As I said earlier, Northern Iowa and Bradley both came off hot from their past victories. Both of their leading scorers are scoring about 15 points per game, so I'm looking forward to this game. I think it's going to be a close one. For the last time this semester, that's all for sports. Next up here, how music at Bradley has finally gotten back into the normal swing. Thank you to a wonderful cast and crew for making this show such a great time to be a part of. We look forward to welcoming you viewers next semester on BUTV News.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood.
To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Bradley's campus has been able to enjoy live music once again this semester as restrictions loosen from the previous year. The Department of Music has been working hard to hold multiple concerts throughout the semester. Our reporter Elizabeth Brenizer has more.
It's been no secret that this academic year has been a period of readjustment for campus. Students, organizations, and professors alike are getting used to the return to on-campus life as restrictions have loosened greatly from the previous year. Such is no different for the Department of Music on campus, particularly as the doors of Dingledine Music Center reopened to the public. I sat down with Dr. Todd Kelly, the music department chair, to see how he felt the return of in-person concerts was going for his department.
Well, I think it's been going well. I mean, we missed it so much. Thinking back, I think our last live performance on campus for an audience was in either late February or early March of 2020. We had a big jazz festival 2 weeks before everything shut down, and no one could have foreseen what was going to happen here.
While the pandemic may have closed the public off from seeing Bradley student concerts in person last year, it was not the end of concerts altogether. The Department of Music utilized various methods to bring the talent of Bradley students into the homes of many.
Last year was kind of an interesting year because we did our entire schedule of concerts last year, but we did them all with no audience. And we would either stream them on YouTube, on our YouTube channel for the department, or in the case of my jazz groups, we stream them on Facebook Live. And the interesting thing was, typically 250 or 300 people come to our concerts. The first concert that we did Facebook Live and YouTube, we had 3,000 people watch the concert.
While streamed concerts were a success, the department is glad to be back to delivering their talents before a live audience once more.
Last year, I would turn around and that camera up there in the corner would what I was about to, and then they would bow and they would just kind of like look at each other like, I hope somebody's watching. Because we never really knew.
Yet some on campus, as well as the public, may be unaware of the opportunities they have to experience the variety of music the department has to offer.
We're kind of known for the most visible things, like for instance, a lot of people even in the community know us for the basketball band. Because they see them, they're on TV, they're at all the games, but there's so much more going on here. We have such a huge variety of music and groups. And I'd like to encourage students to get out and hear some of the things that are offered here. There's an amazing amount of talent here. There's some music that if they heard it, they would think, wow, I had no idea.
If you're a lover of the arts or even just have some free time to kill on a weekend, I highly encourage you to check out what live performances the music department is putting on. You may be surprised at the talent of Bradley students. You can find a schedule of their performances at www.bradley.edu/music. For BUTV News, I'm Elizabeth Brenizer.
The COVID pandemic has catapulted the American healthcare system into the spotlight. We sent out our reporter to see just what Bradley students have come to think of it for this edition of Speak Out.
With COVID pushing America's healthcare system to the very limit, we asked the Bradley students what they think about the American healthcare system.
Speak out!
Personally, when I get off my parents' insurance, I'd like to have a good insurance, and that really it depends on what job I have right now, and I'd like to have more security in that.
First of all, it's a scam. It's crazy how taxpaying people have to pay for health care when it really should be free, because a lot of people are dying from stupid sicknesses and all that, and on top of that, people have to worry about paying, so they're scared of going to the hospital.
Well, as a foreigner, I would say especially for me, I think it's a very expensive thing. Because I had to do some healthcare things, and compared to my country, I think it's very expensive.
What are your opinions on the American healthcare system?
I frankly think that it's a disgrace that the United States is one of the only developed nations without good healthcare. You look at Spain, and it has a much higher even life expectancy.
Well, personally, I think it's pretty broken. I mean, I think like other countries, we should be adopting some of the practices that they do in order to provide more Americans with better health care, cheaper health care, and a better way to live our lives.
It makes me glad that I have not severely injured myself yet, because if I had to pay any kind of hospital bills for breaking my arm, or God forbid, having a child at some point, I would be very disappointed. Like, you have to pay so much just to physically push a human being out of your body. It's god awful and makes you want to live in Europe.
That's one of the reasons why I want to live in Europe is the healthcare in America is just absolutely horrendous.
With BUTV News from the sidewalks of Bradley, this has been Aiden O'Donnell.
As we get near the end here, stick around so you don't miss hearing how Bradley is coming together to donate toys for children this holiday season.
Plus, we have the scoop on how to see your music listening habits over the course of the year. Stay tuned.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Jules, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
Bring it.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
Today is the first day of December, meaning the holiday season has begun. This holiday episode of Campus Convos is slaying. You will be sorry if you miss it. Follow la 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 along with us and let's see what students had to say about the holidays.
Welcome back to this holiday episode of Campus Convos. The winter season is finally upon us, so go ahead and cozy up and play along at home while I go find some happy holiday helpers to answer these jolly questions. What is your favorite holiday movie?
Ooh, gotta be either While You Were Sleeping or The Holiday.
Home Alone.
Definitely The Grinch, you know, the classic, you know what I mean?
One of them Hallmarks, they be fun, they be corny, and it's not realistic, but you know, it's decent.
Probably The Grinch. Yeah, The Grinch.
The Nightmare Before Christmas? I don't know where do you watch the movie? Do you watch it before Halloween or during Christmas?
The Grinch. I like The Grinch. Very interesting.
Do you prefer hot chocolate or apple cider?
Ooh, apple cider. Who drink that? Hot chocolate for sure, but marshmallows though.
Hot chocolate, ew. That's actually trifling, but probably apple cider, cause hot chocolate, I don't do that.
Definitely hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate, all the way.
Apple cider is like cold, right?
What is your favorite holiday song?
This Christmas by Chris Brown.
It's that song that goes, "Have a holly jolly Christmas," that one.
Any of the songs off of Sia's Every Day is Christmas album.
Jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
Would you rather build a snowman, go sledding, have a snowball fight, or just stay inside?
I like sledding. I'm wild, so you know, I like sledding. Probably a snowball fight, cause I've never had a snowball fight. I've been sledding. I've never had a snowball fight, like a real one, so snowball fight.
Sledding, going downhill, you know what I'm saying? Who wants to build a snowman? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much work.
Never stay inside. So like, snow fight, build a snowman, and go sledding. I'm scared to sled though if we by a river, cause I don't want to fall in the water with the gators.
Build a snowman or stay inside.
Probably have a snowball fight.
What is the best gift you've ever received?
Money.
Probably some Legos when I was little. That was one, I like that. I didn't know I was gonna get that, and my mom surprised me with some Legos, so I was happy.
Probably my game system, Xbox, PS4. A jacket that my mom gave me.
Probably each of my siblings when they were born.
That would be an Xbox One X, but I do appreciate family during Christmas.
Finish the lyric challenge. Follow me in merry measure. Fa la 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 la.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what that is. I'm gonna stop you right there. I don't know what that is. So fa la 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 la.
Fa la 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 la. I don't know. I honestly don't know. La 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 la. Tis the season to be jolly.
La 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 la. La la. La 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 la.
You're welcome for your time.
This isn't right, but oh, the ancient Yuletide pleasure. Fa la 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 la.
Well, that's all for this semester of Campus Convos. Study hard and good luck on those finals, Braves. For BUTV News, I'm Anna Hagee.
As finals week approaches, many students are preparing to give final presentations. The Presentation Assistance Center is here to help them gain confidence before they present to their classmates.
A hidden gem on campus is the Presentation Assistance Center. Founded right before the pandemic hit, the PAC has only been open a short while, yet it is making great strides in assisting those who have to give speeches on campus. Faculty advisor Dakota Horn has more on what the PAC is all about.
What we do there is exactly what the title says. We assist people with presentations. So whether it's a project, some kind of presentation for your job, a COM 103 speech, whatever it may be, you come in, you talk to a tutor, you can give them your outline, you can deliver the speech itself, you can brainstorm ideas, you can just give your introduction and say, how does this sound? And then you get really informal feedback from an undergraduate student. And they say, hey, here's the good things, the bad things, these are the things that you can work on. But ultimately, it's an opportunity to get feedback. Anybody at Bradley University can come here. You got a capstone project, you come in and get some feedback. You got a COM 103 speech, you come in and get some feedback. And they're usually only 15 minutes.
If you're interested in learning more about the PAC, you can do so online or in person.
If you go to the Bradley website and look up Presentation Assistance Center, bam, there's a link. You go, you schedule an appointment. But also it's walk-in too. Come up to the third floor. You know, we have limited hours. We're not open 24 hours. But you go to that website, you see what the objectives of the center is. You see a scheduling link. You see our hours. You see kind of what we do here and some contact information. I want it to be something that's always available to our students. I wish that I had a resource like this when I was going through my very communication-centric degrees. I look forward to people utilizing it over the next few years.
The next time you have to give a presentation on campus, be sure to keep the PAC in mind. They can help you feel extra prepared and confident when it comes time to share your work. For BUTV News, I'm Elizabeth Brenizer.
Bradley's American Marketing Association is doing their annual toy drive for the holiday season. This is the 5th year the organization is collecting donations for the Children's Home in Peoria. Our own Denny Smith met the AMA organizers for the event. He has the story.
The American Marketing Association here at Bradley University is focused this week on their charity event for the Children's Home. Despite the pressures of having to compete with other donation drives, AMA's Abby Peterson says the group is steadfast in its commitment to philanthropy.
I think it's one of the biggest charity events that we do, so I think it is really important to AMA. We want to make sure we're giving back.
AMA is hoping to get a lot of toys and monetary donations for the Children's Home. A hope for them is to outdo their previous year's donation haul.
Past years, I think we were able to donate over $600 as well as bins and bins of toys. And this year, I know we have at least 1 or 2 bins filled and have already raised over $400. So we're hoping we can exceed our goal from last year.
The Peoria Children's Home hopes to make a big impact on the community. Jalen Criglione, who is in charge of the toy drive, also hopes that this will be a great experience for members of AMA.
Peoria Children's Home actually impacts 1,700 children and families, so make a huge impact and help spread holiday joy. And also, since we're the marketing club, great experience promoting a cause and raising funds for an important cause.
AMA is looking forward to seeing the results of this year's toy drive. For his part, Jalen is excited to see the impact the drive will have on kids when they deliver the proceeds.
I think what I enjoy most is when we actually bring the toys to them, and in addition to toys, we also have books. So a lot of the stuff that we donate is learning materials. So it's kind of like giving back to them to help learn.
The toy drive ends on December 4th. You can find donation bins in the Business and Engineering Convergence Center, or you can donate money to AMA's Venmo at AMA Bradley. For BUTV News, I'm Denny Smith.
All right, this is our last commercial break, I promise. But don't go anywhere.
We will be back very soon with a performance by a punk band you won't want to miss.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back.
when you want to talk, I'm here.
It's officially that time of the year. Spotify has now released users Spotify Wrapped for this year. Spotify Wrapped allows users to see what they listen to the most over the past 11 months. You can see your top played albums, songs, and even artists. For Apple Music users there, no need to experience FOMO. Apple Music provides their version of Wrapped called Replay for users to get the same information. So, what does your Wrapped look like?
That's all we have for you on this semester's BUTV News. From all of us here, I'm Megan Ruger-Smith.
And I'm Dylan Baus.
I'm Alec.
I'm Kaylee.
I'm Madeline Merlegro. We leave you with a performance from Bummer Dude, an all-woman punk band, with their original song titled Reflected Top. Have a great winter break.
In 95's and anonymity. All I want is to want to be average. All I got was both ends of two extremes. Got me burning on both ends forever it seems. Trying to want to fit in. But honestly, I'm sick of it. Not sure if apathy or arrogance. And trying is lying, so I'll try and think on it. Then goes in phases, always hazy days are crazy. Like in timeout as a child, I would do something wrong. Like with eyelids plastered out, then plastered to the plaster wall. And when I stopped getting plastered, still felt like a trip and fall, a trip and fall. Somewhere to go.